Assalamu alaikum family, it's your brother King Cam, back with another video. Tonight I want to be discussing COINTEL PRO and media manipulation. Now, those of you that know, if you Google COINTEL PRO, then it was a counterintelligence program through the FBI that was used to spy, investigate, wiretap, and basically take down, infiltrate all black organizations, specifically militant black organizations standing up against oppression, poverty, mistreatment, and enslavement of poor and oppressed black people in the United States of America. Now, you can Google COINTELPRO, do the research on it, and you'll be able to pull up all of the documents, because all of the documents are public knowledge. And pretty much what I want to discuss is how the media is used as a tool to manipulate the masses when COINTELPRO is in effect, when they're going to take down either a organizational leader or taking down the organization as a whole. Now, in the 60s, when the first phase of COINTELPRO rolled out, you notice they went after Martin Luther King, they went after the Civil Rights Movement, the Deacons of Defense, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam, any organization that was standing up for black people and was a voice for the poor, they were going after. And if you check out documents, one of their main goals and strategies was to prevent the rise of a black messiah. Now, that leads you to ask yourself, why would they think there would be a black messiah? That's a video for another day. But there's some things that we need to think on. But one of the ways that they would go about it is they would manipulate the media, meaning they would print propaganda, plant false stories, have false imprisonment. You understand what I'm saying? And create an image and an atmosphere that would allow infighting within organizations, so agents could be sent into these organizations and bring them down from within. So we have to be cognizant and vigilant and visual of all these different things that are going on, even today in 2019. 2019, COINTELPRO doesn't exist by name, but it exists still by the actions of the government and various agencies within the government. And as recently in 2017, in August, there was a new documentation that was leaked to the press about black identity extremists, and how those that use social media and use their platform and free speech to speak out against police brutality or domestic terrorism or anything that was affecting the black community, those who are seen as overly aggressive with their racial pride, will be labeled as black identity extremists. This is as early or late as 2017. From August to October, the story ran. Documents were leaked out. There were the Congressional Black Caucus wanted to meet with people from the FBI's office and things of that nature, because this was a situation that was going on. So understand, COINTELPRO is still in effect today. And what we have to be mindful of is every time you see these stories, every time you see them putting a black entertainer in the news, every time you see them putting a black leader in the news that's been outspoken, that's been speaking on the behalf of poor and oppressed people, looking to go against the white supremacy power structure, then what you have to then do is do your research. Do your research and find out, are the charges that are being pinned against this person, are they justifiable charges? Are they real charges? Now, by no way are we taking up for black people in general, or are we taking up for anybody that has committed wrongdoing or committed a crime. But what we are saying is that you have to look at everything that is given to you through mainstream media with a third eye. You have to do your due diligence, do your research, and make sure that the information that they're giving is absolutely correct. Because based on the history of COINTELPRO, the FBI, the US government, and the media, they are not to be trusted with information as it pertains to black people and people who speak up for the oppressed. Because it wasn't just those black leaders that were affected by COINTELPRO or agents infiltrating or people from the inside taken out. Understand that John F. Kennedy spoke up on the behalf of black folks as well. And you see, he was assassinated. His brother Robert Kennedy also had the same views as his big brother John as it pertained to poor and oppressed people in this country. And you see what happened to him. He was also assassinated. So this is not a black and white thing. This is not a color thing. Understand that those in power, the elite and the ones who run this country through the system of white supremacy, do not want any leader of any color or nationality or race to speak up on those which they benefit from through capitalism and white superiority. So understand that. And this also highlights why black media is so important. We have to support those media outlets who are standing on truth, who are speaking on truth, who are giving a commentary and giving a different perspective than that of the mainstream media. Why do you say this, Brother King Cam? Well, I say this because we have to have another perspective. We must have another perspective in order so we can understand the story as a whole. When you're being fed the story from one viewpoint, then you're only going to get one side of the story. So black media is so important because it gives us an outlet, it gives us a voice, it gives us a opportunity to give the story right from the source, if you will. Most of these stories are about us. Most of these stories are about our people. So wouldn't it be right that we give commentary, that we put out the information, whether good or bad, as it pertains to our people? Black media is extremely important because it allows us to control our image. When mainstream media puts us out, it's always with an agenda to make our image other than what it needs to be. And then they send this image and send these news articles and send these clips international. So when our brothers and sisters across seas, when our brothers and sisters in other countries read these articles, they already have an image painted in their minds about what black people act like in America. So when they come over to America, they already have a prejudice against us based on the propaganda that was put out to them via mainstream media. So black media is so important that we must support it. Whether you agree with the views of the ideology, it's not a question right now. It's the fact that you are supporting something that has your best interest in mind as it comes to black people in America. So whether it's the Final Call newspaper, whether it's a YouTube channel or a radio show or a podcast or a blog site, any of these things that are being pushed by black people that you know are sincerely standing on truth, pushing the truth out, we got to support it. We want to shout out Fly Nubian Queens, my sister Vicky Diller. You understand what I'm saying? The other beautiful queens that's on that channel, putting in that work, speaking the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Putting out this commentary so we can have another viewpoint on all of these different things that's happening. Salute to them. Shout out my brother BenX. You understand what I'm saying? Podcast on deck. My brother 19 Keys podcast on deck. This is all black media. You know, shout out our good brother Dr. Boyce Watkins with his platform where he speaks out on these different things and gives his commentary on a plethora of different situations and a plethora of different events that go on in our community. You understand what I'm saying? So those of us that have a voice, those of us that are out here taking these stories head on, taking on the white power structure head on, white supremacy head on, we need the support of the people. We have to have the people. Understand, we're trying to put out the best light for our people and make sure that the truth goes out, no matter if it condemns us or not. The light is going to condemn the darkness regardless. But we have to put it out. So understand that black media is so important. So if you see a brother, when you see a brother on the corner with his final call, make sure you supporting that brother. Donate the $2 and get you a paper. You can subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. 4 weeks. You understand? $2 per issue. Plus a delivery fee. The brother got to drop it off to you. But support the black-owned newspaper because it's for you. Knowledge of self, community news, a word by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Everything that you need to know about the Nation of Islam, everything you need to know about black people domestically, locally, internationally, it can be found in the Final Call newspaper. Black excellence. All of this can be found in the Final Call newspaper. Support your own newspaper. Any other magazines, any other outlets. Make sure that you're giving to them. Charity is important because it takes money to keep these things running. Equipment has to be bought, editing has to be paid for, filming, all these different things have to take place. So understand that these are your outlets for your people, which we can promote businesses that you have. We can report on different incidents that happen in your community, that happen in your neighborhood. We can do all of these things through black media. We can promote our own selves through our own media, but we need the support of the people. So black media is so important because it allows us to combat white supremacy in the mainstream media when they put out their, when they spew these different things, this rhetoric about us. It's a weapon because propaganda is a weapon. Media is a weapon. It's an art of war. If you can change the people's perception about an organization or about a leader through the news cycle, through video, through audio, through books, through magazines, through newsletters, through newspapers, through news shows and platforms, then you're able to successfully either control the rise or fall of the organization or the leader based on what the people's perception is of that person. And then it creates an atmosphere for you to either get away with murder or for some unjust imprisonment to take place. So black media is so important because COINTELPRO used that as its #1 ability to take down black organizations, create atmospheres where leaders would fight, infiltrate with agents that were supposed to be a part of the organization, looked like they was a part of the organization, dressed like they was a part of the organization, spoke like they was a part of the organization, but they was really government informants, FBI agents, CIA agents, working, taking information from the organization back to the government, giving reports. We have to be aware of all this stuff that's going on. We have to be vigilant, and the people have to know this information so they can't be readily tricked. Because what happens is COINTELPRO will use the black community to take down all of the black leaders, will take down all of the black organizations that are looking to do something for black people, to take black people out of the condition that we are in today and leave you in the condition that they want you to be in, which is a slave, which is the oppressed. So they will go into these organizations and create mischief and want the black community riled up. Specifically the women, because they understand women are the most fierce warriors on the planet, the black woman in particular. So when you can rile the black woman up and get her to channel her energy against you, then it's a hard machine to fight. So sisters, understand, when you see these news articles come out about these black men, understand, I know you've been hurt, sisters. I know you've been hurt. We're not taking anything from you with that. And we're not absolving brothers that are guilty of crimes and that against women, children, or any other sort. But what we are saying is make sure you do your due diligence and research before you go to condemn and before you go to judge, especially in the public on social media. Because we all know that the FBI, the CIA, law enforcement, the U.S. government is all over social media. And what they're doing is taking polls, they're taking stats, and they seeing your reactions to these different media stories that they're throwing out, whether they're true or they're false. And they gauging that, and they preparing themselves. They're taking in information so they can know how they can attack the community. So I want you to understand the media manipulation and the COINTELPRO aspect of this. So what I want you to do is, after you check this video out, Google COINTELPRO. Go to NOI.org and read the documents. Or you can pull them up through another website. But read the documentation. Get a clear understanding. Pull up the recent documents from 2017 about the black identity extremists. We actually had an issue through the Final Call that spoke about the black identity extremists. You understand what I'm saying? Because this type of manipulation, this type of deviant behavior is what will bring down organizations that are really trying to help us, which could turn the community on the very organizations and the very leaders that are trying to help us. Understand, they've been running a smear campaign, a propaganda campaign on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for years right now. For years, they've been running a campaign against him, throwing out this rhetoric, taking clips from his lectures and misrepresenting the clips, taking them out of context, even editing the clips and putting in words that he never even said. The minister used to have to go on interviews and clarify what he said and say what he said back to back, as the media that's doing the interview are playing the doctored clips, the clips that they edited. Same way we can Photoshop stuff now, they was doing that back in the day. You understand what I'm saying? Back early in the 90s. So it's real, and they don't want you to gravitate towards anybody that's teaching you the truth about them. So we got to be aware. We have to make sure that we're doing our due diligence every time something come out in the news cycle, making sure that you're researching, making sure you're getting all of that information before we make an informed and concise decision. I appreciate y'all for watching. It's your brother King Cam. Peace.